This is Warzone Jones, and this is my Monday Night War review. And I gotta say, I saw some very, very shocking things on TNA. And I gotta say, the most shocking thing I seen on TNA was Orlando Jordan. Wow. And wow. What can I say about this? I mean, this gimmick, who in the hell came up with this gimmick? Period. Who came up with this gimmick? Was it Hulk Hogan? Was it Vince Russo? Was it Eric Bischoff? Who in the hell came up with this gimmick for Orlando Jordan to be a homosexual? I don't know if he's really gay or... I mean, by the way, I ain't got nothing against gays. I'm going to put that on here right now. Got nothing against gays. But how in the hell... why the hell would you show this? Now, it's not like this is like Goldust. I mean, Goldust, his gimmick wasn't a gay person, and like a homo. Like his gimmick wasn't like homosexuality. Not really. It really wasn't. What Orlando Jordan is doing, I mean, like he's taking it to the next level. I mean, his gimmick is like, hey, I'm a faggot. I mean, like that's his gimmick. Like his gimmick is like he's a gay guy. And you know, he's gonna be coming out like winning that stuff. I mean, you know, it's not really like Goldust. And like, I can't even find words to explain. It's like it's the next level. And how in the hell is this supposed to make TNA grow in the first place? Is this gonna make people want to watch TNA, or is this gonna make people turn from TNA? I mean, let's be honest. Let's be honest about that. Unless you're trying to get a bunch of people, a bunch of homos to watch TNA, which once again, I got nothing against gay guys or anything. I don't think I want to see that. Like, period. I really don't want to see that. And by the way, like stuff like that, that's what the hell Goldust back. You know, and he was a pretty good wrestler. You know, heard Shawn Michaels say it himself, like that gimmick he had sort of held him back. So what you think that this gimmick is going to do for Orlando Jordan? Is it going to hold him back even further? Because he's taking it to the next level, to be honest. But I don't want to talk about it all day. Let's talk about Raw and you know, Mark Henry was naked too, and I don't know what they was trying to do. They was trying to embarrass black people today or something. I have no idea. But let's talk about Raw. Let's talk about TNA. I want to spend all day on it. Now, Raw started off with John Cena. John Cena and Batista. Start off with a segment with John Cena and Batista, like it has been lately. Even after WrestleMania, they still starting off with segments with them, which I'm fine with. But Raw started off with John Cena. Batista coming out saying things how like, well, John Cena got lucky, that it was a fluke. John Cena tells Batista, well, maybe you should give you a rematch clause right then and right now. And Batista says no, that he's going to wait, basically. Basically, they're waiting so that that Batista and John Cena can go at it at the next pay-per-view, which is understandable. But after a while, when Batista leaves, he gets attacked from behind by Jack Swagger. Jack Swagger attacked him behind with the Money in the Bank briefcase, and he tries to cash in the Money in the Bank right then and there. But after he hits John Cena with the Money in the Bank briefcase, John Cena recovers, and I'm thinking, well, oh my God, Jack Swagger's about to cash this Money in the Bank briefcase in, and he's not even gonna win the belt. Like, he's gonna be the first guy to not, you know, win the belt as he cashes in the briefcase. But then he holds it off after he realized, well, I couldn't get a quick pin on John Cena, so he holds that off. And these guys battle on later on through the night. But let's get back to that later. What else happened on Raw? Raw was basically about Shawn Michaels, which is understandable. You know, it's his retirement. It's his last. This is the curtain call for Shawn Michaels. Basically, it was like the curtain call for Shawn Michaels, and they pretty much showed promo packages of his career. You know, all through the night. And the guest host didn't do nothing. Everything they did was stupid. You know, they had this whole thing where they were in a jacuzzi, and they had all the divas. If all the divas could stay in the jacuzzi with them, you know, whoever could stay in the longest gets a women's title shot. But, you know, the segments were stupid. Everything they did was stupid. And these guys are supposed to be comedians. But, you know, everything they did was stupid. I understand why it's not about them, you know, because, you know, hey, it's Shawn Michaels, so screw them. But moving on, but, you know, Mark Henry got in that jacuzzi naked, and oh, Jesus Christ, we didn't need to see that much of Mark Henry. Like we really did. Like, are they going back to his sexual chocolate days, or him doing stuff like that? Because that's when he was doing that stuff in the Attitude Era, getting naked. But, you know, moving on, moving on, you had things on TNA. Started off with the band. TNA started off with the band, and when Eric Young comes out, and they try to get Eric Young to join the band. Eric Young basically declines, and the band, they jumps on Eric Young, and he gets saved by RVD and Jeff Hardy. Now it's not like that Eric Young doesn't belong with RVD and Jeff Hardy. That's just, to me, it seems like he doesn't belong with RVD and Jeff Hardy. But maybe it's just going to take me a little bit to get used to seeing him with those guys, because he clearly is going to be in the Lethal Lockdown, at the Lockdown pay-per-view. And apparently these guys, their 6-man tag match later on tonight is going to be a cage match, basically to promote the Lockdown pay-per-view, which I guess is understandable to gain new viewers. By the way, that cage sort of look like the newer Hell in the Cell cage. Like, it really does look like the sort of, just a little bit like the Hell in the Cell cage a little bit. Looks really similar. Looks really similar. At least to me it does. What happened on Raw? Bret Hart comes out. He lays a promo down. Talked about his feud with Shawn Michaels. Talked about burying a hatchet with Shawn Michaels. He talked about beating up on Vince McMahon at WrestleMania, and how his family finally got revenge on McMahon for all his lies and all the screw jobs and all that. And then after a while, Show Miz, they come out, they get in the ring. Particularly the Miz is pretty much doing all the talking. He's talking trash to Bret, calling him overrated. Somewhere doing the line. The Hart Dynasty come out, and they get a pretty good pop. So these guys getting the push. They're getting a babyface push, and it look like it might just work out for them. But then again, this is just one show. Let's see where they'll go with this. But somewhere while these guys were yakking, talking trash, they had a match. These guys had a match at the Hart Dynasty versus Miz show, and they had a pretty decent match. It was a decent match. So you're about to get a Hart Dynasty versus the Miz show feud. And it looks like Bret, I guess Bret's going to be around for a while. So it looks like Bret's going to be around for a while, which I'm okay with that too, as long as he's not wrestling, because Bret can't wrestle no more. What else we had? After that, Triple H came out. He said things about Shawn Michaels, and he came out. He said his things about Shawn Michaels. He said how much all the things that they done down in their career, stuff they did down the road. But as he was giving his tribute out to Shawn Michaels, then Sheamus comes out, attacks him right from behind. So we're gonna this feud between Sheamus and Triple H is gonna continue, just as I thought. Now on the TNA side, you had a couple of things on the TNA side other than the weird, shocking Orlando Jordan thing. Oh, by the way, this Orlando Jordan thing and his entry music, he literally just said, I don't know if I said it in the beginning, but I know he said all the women want to be him. He said all the women want to be him, and all the men want to be him. Want to be with him. Like, he literally said that. I was like, wow, in his entrance music. But other than that, both shows was okay. Bottom line, both shows were okay. I watched more Raw than I did TNA, not just because of the whole Orlando Jordan thing, but I watched Raw more TNA because I wanted to see what Shawn Michaels was going to say. So Shawn Michaels, he went out there and he did his thing. He poured his heart out. He cried. He talked. He basically saying, goodbye to the fans. It looked like Shawn Michaels isn't coming back, period, to be honest with you. It looked like he isn't coming back, but if he is coming back, they did a pretty good job, I guess, to convince, a lot of fans who are not necessarily smart fans that he's not coming back. But, Shawn Michaels might be back within sometime before, the next WrestleMania. But, that's just what I'm thinking. I know a lot of people might feel that way, too. Even The Undertaker, he came out, tilted his hat to Shawn Michaels, came out there for about a couple of seconds, then walked out. He even got booed a little bit, too, when he came out there. He got booed a little bit. So, that was it for that part. But, I thought that angle was, the segment with Shawn Michaels was good. It was pretty good. And it lasted, I think he talked about for maybe about 15 minutes. He talked for about 15 minutes. But, Raw was decent. TNA was decent. You had a tag team match, between Randy Orton and John Cena versus Jack Swagger and Batista. And Jack Swagger, he's changing his look because he's getting a push. He got to do something different. I'm pretty sure they told him that. the match between these guys it was a pretty decent match. Randy came in when Randy Orton finally get tagged in. He dominated these guys, Batista and Jack Swagger. He gave them both the RKO. Matter of fact, he got the pin 1, 2, 3 clean. So Randy Orton is clearly a babyface. I would say he's officially a babyface, and it seems like his thing, whatever he's doing with Legacy, Rose and DiBiase is over. It seems like that's over. But the band match with versus RVD, Jeff Hardy, and Eric Young. It was an okay match. It was an okay match. Wasn't great. It was an okay match. Some people probably say this sucked, but it was an okay match. But that's my review tonight. This is Warzone Jones. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to my channel. And I'm out. Peace.